Oh boy. Sports snippets, Dennis Sullivan. It is Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, the 28th of May. Hope you're doing well. What a game six that was on Saturday night. The Celtics with a 104-103 victory over the Miami Heat on the Derrick White buzzer beater. Unbelievable game. Just feeling. I don't even know what to say right now. I mean, my emotions, and I usually don't even get that upset over games. I really don't. When I was younger, I used to, and but it's been with me all day. It's Sunday as I make this video about 3:30 Eastern time in the afternoon, and I just keep thinking about how that game ended. It had that type of power over all fans, or at least Celtic and Heat fans. Now, before I get into this and really go in here on the topic of Game 6, if you do like the content of this particular video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe as well to my channel. That would be awesome. Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. Also, if you like short videos, I've been adding a fair amount of shorter videos. You just go to my page, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. Go ahead and click on the Shorts tab, and you'll see a separate listing of videos. Now, guys, this is the deal, man. I gotta tell you. I mean, there's so many different ways you can look at Game 6. Yes, Jimmy Butler and Bam picked like the worst time to kind of go cold on us, as Heat fans anyway. At one point, they were combined 5 for 28 from the field. That's incomprehensible. Now, going into Game 7, let me say, I certainly don't expect Butler and Bam to play like they did in Game 6 for the most part. No, I do not expect that. But I also don't expect the Celtics to go something like, it was like, I don't know, like 25% shooting from three-point range. They shot the ball very poorly from three-point range. I don't really expect that either. So they kind of cancel one another out. Now, this game, through all the different angles you want to take, through all the different scenarios and different things, it came down to, no matter what angle you want to take, this just came down to the Miami Heat having to stop the Boston Celtics with 3 seconds left on the clock. You were up 1 point. And yes, credit to the Heat defense. They did force a very difficult shot that missed. Marcus Smart's jump shot, was off. We all know that. The Heat get credit for that. Marcus Smart's had a fantastic last few games, by the way. He finished with 21 points. Just want to throw that in while I can. 4 rebounds. Okay, so that part we know, and that was to be applauded in a way, the Miami Heat defense. But the Miami Heat, and it hurts me to say this, made a very poor basketball play. Very poor. While the Boston Celtics made a very good not great, but they made a very good basketball play to win that game. And that is, you've got to block out / box out, and you can't lose sight of the guy taking the ball out, in this case, Derrick White. Derrick White takes the ball outside out of bounds, and he basically does a beeline for the baseline and goes right to that basket. That's exactly what he did. Watch the replay. He inbounded it, and he was off. He only had 3 seconds. Less than 3 seconds. Goes right to the baseline. Boom! Right to the basket. Ball just happened to clang off the left side, where Derrick White just happened to be crashing the boards. And it was an easy putback from that point. Time expires. Heat lose. Series tied 3-3. We could talk all we want about when Jimmy Butler got fouled, which it did look like he got fouled with about 2.7 seconds left. It did look like that. Yes, there were some questionable calls, especially that one Gabe Vincent call with, I don't know, a handful of minutes left in the game. It was still like maybe mid-fourth quarter. I believe Tatum was the recipient of that. They said he was on his back or something. I mean, we could talk all we want about the officiating, which did raise some eyebrows. But I'm not making a video to talk about officiating. I can't do that. It's just not. I mean, who cares? I mean, it is what it is. There's good calls, there's bad calls in every game. But when it all came down to it, the Miami Heat, you can't do that. Allowed a guard in Derrick White to just go right to the basket. No one on him. No one slowing down his progress. No boxing out. Max Strus, I can't necessarily blame. I blame the Heat as a unit. Because Strus, if you see the replay or you remember from the actual live play, was going to help out defensively. Then he kind of caught up, sort of, with Derrick White at the very end, but it was too late. It was too late. Credit to Derrick White. He did what he's supposed to do. He basically passed the inbound and went right to that basket. I'll say it once, I say it again. And that won the game for the Celtics. Unbelievable, guys. White finished with 11 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. He played a good overall game. A steal, and he had 3 blocks. I already talked about Marcus Smart. Al Horford, who's been quiet this last few games. In series, really, 4 points, 7 rebounds. He did have 2 blocks. It was Brown and Tatum again. Jaylen Brown, 26 points, 10 rebounds. He had 3 assists and 2 steals. Jason Tatum only finished, when I say only, I mean he had 25 points in the first half. He finishes with only 31. The Heat did a good job neutralizing him in the second half. He was kind of out of the offense, so to speak, in the second half for large periods of time. He did add 12 rebounds, that hurts, 5 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. Both teams basically went with only a 7-man rotation because you had Sam Hauser for the Celtics and Cody Zeller for the Heat. They both played for their respective teams, but only about 2 minutes each. You take Hauser and Zeller out of the equation there with their roughly 2 minutes of playing time. Each team went with a 7-man rotation. The Celtics didn't really get that much from the bench. The Heat did a little bit better in that department. Although Robert Williams was pretty good. He had 10.7 rebounds, a block. Grant Williams didn't add much. A point, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Bam has to play better in Game 7. And so does Jimmy Butler. So does Jimmy Butler, of course. But Bam has to play better. He's got to think offense more, in other words. We should almost, just like with the Bucks, when we ran that offense almost through Bam, because you remember Milwaukee was giving him so much space, like around the foul line, to shoot that jumper. Celtics have played him a little bit better, though. They're not giving him quite as much space. But we know Bam can take the ball to the basket. He should be able to do that against the Celtics. I'm sorry. He should be able to do that. Bam finishes with 11 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, and a steal. Butler, who does come alive at the end, as he normally does, 24, 11, and 8, and a steal. Caleb Martin was the big story for the Heat. 21 points, 15 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. Caleb gets to start, so I would expect that to also be the case in Game 7. I'm good with that. I don't think we need to analyze it any further. I mean, this is it. He's one of your 5 best players. I mean, we're not going to the bench. Neither team as much. However, I think for Game 7, you got to include Kevin Love in the rotation again. You got to go with 9 men and also play Zeller a little more, because right now you're going into Game 7. Butler played like 46 minutes. The whole most of the starting 5 was like around 40 or over 40 minutes. But Caleb, yes, you want to start him. That's fine. Gabe Vincent, 15 and 4 rebounds. He added a block. Gabe Vincent played well. Strus was okay. 10 points, 3 assists. Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry gave the Heat a nice lift off the bench. Duncan goes for 13 and 2 assists. Lowry goes for 8, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. So, will the Heat have a little bit of an edge for the bench in terms of the bench in Game 7? I think they do. The Heat have a chance to win Game 7, guys. The Heat have a chance to win Game 7. But let's get Zeller in there, if not for 5, 8, 9 minutes, something like that. And we got to mix in Kevin Love, because I could see it now. If we go with the starters in the mid-40s with minutes, low to mid-40s, we're going to run out of gas, and we don't want that to happen. The Celtics actually have the same exact problem when it comes to that as the Heat do, because that was a very important Game 6. So Game 7 is scheduled for Monday night. That's tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. tip-off Eastern Time. You gotta block out. Is it that simple? Yeah, it actually is that simple. Because, and you know, guys, if you're still watching this video, and I'm applauding you if you are, good job. You know, if this was a college broadcast, which college broadcast is different than an NBA broadcast, and that I mean, you watch March Madness, for example, they focus more on the fundamentals, on the exact specifics of what's going on in games and things like that. I'm telling you right now, that was a college game. The first thing you would have heard from the announcers was that Derrick White was never blocked out on that play. No one even made contact with him. And that was the reason. We can, again, I'll close out this video. That is the reason why the Miami Heat lost this game. That's a poor basketball play, or non-play for that matter, and the Celtics make a strong, solid basketball play and win the game. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon. Go Heat. We got a chance here. We got a chance. Get ready for Game 7. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.